Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, August 23rd. Very nice weather continues here in the Mid-Atlantic region right through the day tomorrow. Comfortable temperatures, low humidities, very comfortable sleeping weather. However, all eyes are still focused on Hurricane Irene, as they should be. Irene poses a serious threat to the entire East Coast, including right here in the Mid-Atlantic region from Washington to New York City. There very well could be heavy rain and strong winds right around here in the Mid-Atlantic region this weekend from Irene. It looks like it'll head perhaps as a major hurricane right into the North Carolina region by about Saturday morning, and then ride right up the East Coast or just off the East Coast. Either track could bring heavy rain and strong winds to the Mid-Atlantic region. Let's take a look at the latest GOES satellite image from the Penn State EWOL site. First of all, it's becoming a very large hurricane. It's certainly larger than the average hurricane. It's kind of expanded overnight and is now centered just north of the Dominican Republic. And the important thing about that is it is now moving by the island of Hispaniola, Dominican Republic right here and Haiti right here. This island contains some high terrain which tend to weaken the hurricane. Now that it is bypassing this, it will continue to strengthen. The latest conditions are Category 2 status with 100-mile sustained winds, 120-mile-per-hour gusts. I expect this will develop even more rapidly over the next 24 to 48 hours, perhaps as high as a Category 4 by the time Thursday or Friday rolls around, as it continues over the Bahamas, just to the east of Florida, and then makes a turn to the north, headed for the Carolinas, perhaps the North Carolina coastline by Saturday morning. If in fact it reaches North Carolina coast by Saturday as a Category 3, that would be the strongest hurricane to make landfall in North Carolina since Hurricane Fran in 1996. Here's another way to look at the hurricane. This is a colorized IR image from the Penn State EWOL website. And again, it's a very expansive hurricane. It's grown in size overnight, and the strongest convection is just now north of Dominican Republic. And again, now that it's moving on to the north and west of the island of Hispaniola, it'll continue to strengthen and probably go from a Category 2 to a Category 3, and then maybe even a Category 4 by the time the storm is east of Florida, on its way perhaps to the North Carolina coastline by the weekend. Now here's the latest official hurricane track from the National Hurricane Center, and I tend to agree with this in general. It looks like it'll continue this track over the Bahamas, east of Florida, and then make a turn northward and head towards the Carolinas, perhaps making landfall somewhere around here by Saturday morning. And then it appears as if it'll turn right up the East Coast, or perhaps just off the coast. Then that would give heavy rain and strong winds to much of the Mid-Atlantic region. In fact, one of the interesting things about this potential track is how similar it is to Hurricane Floyd. Let's take a look at that right now. This is the track that Hurricane Floyd took in September of 1999, and again, it made landfall in North Carolina and then rode right up along the East Coast or just off the East Coast. And the point I want to make here is, even with this slightly shifted to the east track compared to what it might have been saying, computer models might have been suggesting a couple of days ago, even with this kind of a track, heavy rainfall occurred during Hurricane Floyd. I know I personally measured more than 10 inches of rain, and I'm about 20 miles to the west of Philadelphia from Hurricane Floyd. So this kind of a track, even if it's at the coast or just off the coast, can certainly still produce some very heavy rainfall in the Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City region. So we have a very serious risk of some substantial rain and wind this weekend from Irene, and we'll continue to monitor this situation over the next few days. Two more maps I'd like to show are computer forecast models for Sunday night, just to see the range in the potential track from the storm. This is the GFS model, the Global Forecast System from the NOAA, is NCEP. And this is Sunday evening. It has this storm almost looking like a beautiful snowstorm or coastal storm from the wintertime. A major storm here just sitting over the South Jersey coast or just off the South Jersey coast, throwing some heavy rain all the way back into Washington up to New York City. And again, this is the GFS model. This has been consistently a little bit to the east of the European model. Let's take a look at that right now. This is the European forecast model for Sunday night, and it's a little hard to see here, but it has a major storm here, a little bit to the left or a little bit more inland compared to the GFS model. I show the European model because it has been quite an accurate model in the medium range, like 5-6 days out. So I have a reason to believe that this could end up being the more accurate track. But the point is, no matter what the track looks like just off the coast or just inland, there still is the potential for heavy rain and strong winds right here in the Mid-Atlantic region from Irene over the weekend. We're talking more like the Saturday night and Sunday time frame. That's it for now. Stay tuned for updates. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.